Hi, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Kyriacos, but I'm mostly known as Giggs. This is just a short presentation about thalassemia and how it has affected me growing up. What is thalassemia? Well, it's an inherited blood disorder and occurs most frequently in people of Italian, Greek, Middle Eastern and Southern Asian countries. Although thalassemia is not an issue for individuals who have the trait or are carriers, it can become a problem when two unaffected carriers bear children. As demonstrated in the diagram, there is a 1 in 4 chance the child will not be affected at all, a 2 in 4 chance the child will have the trait, and a 1 in 4 chance the child will be affected, resulting in lifelong treatment to help them live. In my case, I was diagnosed with thalassemia beta major at 6 months old and started having blood transfusions at the time of diagnosis. What happens with my condition, in simple terms, is the factory that is responsible for producing healthy oxygenated blood is damaged, and although still producing red cells, there is very limited or no oxygen in each cell. This leaves the sufferer starved of oxygen for the body, which has severe adverse effects and can be fatal if not treated properly. At 6, I had a splenectomy. This was to try and help increase the time between transfusions, because it was realized at the time that iron was a problem for those transfusion dependent. At the age of 9, I was introduced to the desferrioxamine and the pump. This was a subcutaneous infusion that I would have to use 5 to 6 days a week over a 10-hour period for each infusion. This was to reduce the iron level and was increasing due to the amount of blood that was being transfused. The pump was doing its job mostly, but at the age of 24 I had suffered heart failure due to iron overload. This led to almost 6 years of IV treatment of desferrioxamine through portacath. The reason was to administer the desferrol straight into the bloodstream so that it would aid the reduction of iron from the heart. Thankfully, I pulled through what was a really tough time in my life. Nowadays, controlling iron is less invasive with the introduction of tablets. Diagnosed with osteoporosis the same year, I was started on bisphosphonates to help improve my bone density, and although it was effective, caused a side effect that resulted in suffering a femoral fracture at the age of 44. This was due to long-term treatment from such medication, which is now better regulated. Now 54, some might say I'm an expert in my condition, and I do try to help with awareness of thalassemia. And I have been involved with many campaigns over the years. Most recently was an interview with Dominic Littlewood. This was an episode in the series of Dom Delivers, all about the process of blood, from the moment of donation to the receiver of it, and the process in between. I also took part in the Christmas and winter campaign for the Welsh Blood Service around that time. Thalassemia has and still plays a big part in my life, and at times I have hit rock bottom, but at the same time always try to live as fulfilled life as possible. I've been married for over 30 years. My wife has always been very supportive and probably responsible for me still being here. I'm a very proud father to a beautiful daughter who has had to witness me going through tough times, but again, always been supportive. I've run my own business for over 25 years and very recently completed a degree in cybersecurity and only just this last week graduated. Essentially, there will always be a reason to quit. When so many try to help you live, you owe it to yourself to always keep going. Finally, I just want to say thank you for listening and apologize for the hoarseness in my throat. It's problem I've been having of late, which I haven't managed to get sorted. But I have hoped this has been informative. And thanks again.